Hey friends, welcome back. Sorry it has taken so long. I've been really busy. I started a new job at another company. So in addition to contracting at my other job, um, I'm also contracting with a new game company, which is really great. But I've been super busy. And then just at the original company, we just had like a bunch of stuff coming in at once. So anyway, wanted this out before the end of January. It's already the middle of February, which is crazy. But my schedule should be better, so there should be another one within the next 2 weeks as well. So today we're doing a blowback effect. And, I hadn't been calling it that, but then someone on Twitter had responded and they're like, I like the blowback effect. And I was like, that's a good name. So yeah, just one of these. You see it all over Zenless Zone Zero. I reference them a lot. They got a lot of good effects. Um, yeah, it just has a lot of uses. We can use it for guns. You see it like a lot. The guns, Zenless Zone Zero. It looks really good from lots of angles. I'm sorry, she's aiming over here. Especially like over the shoulder. So having a nice effect like that from over the shoulder is really good because you're gonna be seeing that a lot, even like with a free camera game. Um, usually moving towards whatever the camera's looking at. And then you can use it for like punches and stuff too. So if we do like something like that, that looks really cool. I like that. Also sweet. This is addition to it. And you can see the effect there. Boop. And yeah, that's about the extent of it. It's just you'll find a lot of uses for it. The next few videos I'm doing is probably just going to be a lot of like incidental dust effects and stuff. We might do like a couple in the next video. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, so let's just focus on this. Trying to get it was crazy. The last video was like an hour because it's so fast. Um, so what's going on? Well, basically, what happened? You can probably guess. We just have like a hemisphere, and we're just animating the UVs, and it looks really good, which is a lot of effects. You can see it better here. It's like a hemisphere. So let's get that going. So we'll jump into Blender. This is our one from the our like ongoing file that will be available to you all. So I cracked open that just to be thorough. Let's go ahead and. Oh, actually, yeah, that was the wrong file anyway. Okay, good. That was from because we haven't made it yet in this file. So we'll double click on our VFX meshes in that project. The H is going on here. It's crazy. Okay, we're back. um, I had the old Blender defaulted. Usually they don't even open when that happens, but yeah, like none of the it was all corrupted in there. Um, like none of the assets were showing, like none of the meshes. Anyway, we're in here. So let's start with the hemisphere. Let's hide this stuff. S cursor to. Sorry, I'm not used to new Blender. Shift add. Going to add a mesh, and it's going to be a UV sphere. We can keep it pretty high poly, like the default setting is pretty good. You can crunch it down if you want. We're going to delete that right here. We're going to add a seam here. Oh, they're already unwrapped by default. That's nice. We're going to do something extra though here. Actually, we don't have to unwrap it if you're using new Blender. We're going to delete that top vertice. Grab this, extrude. I guess if you want it perfect, we could go cursor to selected. Delete it, extrude, and then scale 0. That way it goes right to where that old vertice was. Go in here, and it's like, oh shoot, well, where was it? To go to edge select, sure it's the right one. I'm all right clicking. Just to bring that one up. All right click, grab Y, skirt, down. And we actually want this on the bottom for this effect. So we're going to call this VFX hemisphere movies flipped. Because we want to be able to scale from up to here. And so we need to flip these. Let's drag that up a little bit. Scale Y, -1. Grab Y. Down to here. Scale Y. I left a little gap. I'm wondering if I was having some sort of texture filtering issues. So leave like a little gap here. If you don't have any issues, go ahead and fill it out. It doesn't matter too much. But sometimes when stuff's on the edge, even if you do like clamp or repeat, it's like from weird angles you'll get weird stuff. Go back into our project. And let's go ahead and I'm gonna copy this effect that we had made. I made a slight adjustment to it. I just sort of upped the intensity so the glow was showing up. The reason is because setting up the vertex streams is a pain in the fanny. So Blowback VFX prefab mesh, and make sure we make a new material. Duplicate that. Blowback VFX space 1 here. We're using that 3-step one. I kind of hate this. Is there a better way? Do I have the go to this older one? We'll see if it's weird. Basically, it's the same. It just has 2 colors. It's easier to work with, but you get some sort of dull colors in between, so you have to like up the intensity to make it look nicer. Anyway, let's go to the renderer. We'll grab our new hemisphere mesh. Oh, looks like I have the old ones in here too. So what did we call ours? Called ours VFX. These are the ones that are I provided from just old files and stuff. See, it's sort of animating. Oops, I moved the wrong thing. Why did I do that? Zero out the rotations too. Right now, we have that old effect on there. Texture, excuse me. So let's make a new texture. Go ahead and duplicate this. I know a lot of people sort of don't like having PSD files like in their Unity project. I don't mind. It's way easier, but there are issues with it. I don't know what they are. People just tell me that there are issues, so. You decide for yourself. Do your own research. Go ahead and double click on that. Duplicate it because it gives us like sort of these layers set up already. Or these like layer effects, I mean. So just to begin with, let's just draw a line like this. I'm gonna rotate that. And turn it off. We'll use it later, but there's a little bug with this version of Photoshop where you make changes, but if your last change was a certain kind of change, it doesn't care and it'll think that there's no changes. And I could tell because I hit Control S and like nothing happened. Anyway. Here. Back. So we have that. And it might already, no, it's going the other way. So go in here in our custom data. So just as a quick refresher, um, you would go here if you're doing your own thing and do custom. And it depends how you have it set up, but we have it set up so the text coordinate ZW is our first two, and then text coordinate 1 XYZW is our second set. So we have 6 that we can pass. We can pass 8. I don't know if there's a way to get more than that. Um, it seems to only let you do custom 2. But we'll see. Unless you do like more custom and it's like less, but I think it overrides it. Anyway, that's how you set it up. Um, in ours, the first 2 are like, one's like an alpha cutoff. The other one, it might be unused right now. But then we have tiling and then offset. So we could start by just setting this here and just doing the offset. You can see there's no movement because this is the X offset. If we grab the Y offset, go like this, boop, we get our effect. And already that looks pretty sweet. Something's betraying it and making it look nice. I think it's because I changed the shader so it gave a default mask, which is what we're going to use too. This one isn't quite what we want. We want to do something like this, but we'll go through the motions of making it. So let's turn it off real quick just to show you. Oh, right, it's not animated yet. So right now, if we just hit play on it, it sort of lights up. Nothing happens. Sorry if you can hear my neighbors. The walls are thin. Neighbors are nice. It's just make it sound like I don't like my neighbors, but my neighbors are nice. It's just the walls are thin here. Let's go back here and make it a curve. And again, we want something fast in, slow out, so we can start with that. You can kind of see what so it's going negative. So no offset has us here. That seems a little, oh no, that's right. Okay. See, the full extent is about here, about negative 0.6. And we might want to go the full extent. Just simple, -1. And then do a curve, and now we have like that range. So we can start, simple. It's pretty fast, but already that's like a neat effect. And that goes too far for my taste, so let's do more like this. And overall, it's going too fast. And our color over lifetime is a little bit different than what we actually want. Stick with this for now, but this at 0.4. I'm gonna cheat a little and see what I had. Yeah, 0.4. Cool. In practice, you're gonna want to like do it a lot faster than this, but this lets us sort of track the motion and see what's going on. And so, because we have an S curve, it sort of is delayed at the beginning. We don't want that generally. So let's go skirt. Fast in, slow out. Alrighty, that's pretty sweet. Might push it back a little bit more. And again, we're gonna have that. If you wanted, you could go like the full extent like this. And even with like bad clipping, that's kind of neat. Like that fades out, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't look too bad. But we're gonna add that mask. So go ahead. Let's make a new texture. Make a new layer. Take the background. Draw a square like this. Go to blending options. Actually, let's get rid of the fill. Blending options. Gradient overlay. So when you do a fill opacity to 0, it will, maybe it's obvious, but it's like any pixels that you've drawn on there get rendered at that opacity, but the effects are still at 100% opacity, like down here if you can see my mouse. And so we'll click on gradient overlay. Smoothness we want down. What that does is basically it creates an S curve, just like we had here. By getting rid of it, it keeps it a linear curve. I talk about this all the time because I just don't ever hear anyone else talk about it. um, and I can't remember if it uses um, the R channel or the opacity channel, so we're gonna do both. Over here, turn the opacity down, and we actually don't want that to happen until about right here. So we'll drag it over. Okay. Control S. Ignore that. A little hint at where I'm working now. Oh, okay. Do gradient mask vertical short one text. Usually do text and then one. So hopefully that all made sense. You know, basically we fill the whole thing. That way we can apply the gradient over the whole thing, but we don't actually have the pixels coming through. But the gradient effect is here. We just keep it vertical. And so any pixels down here are going to draw fine, but as they get pushed up, they're going to fade out. They're going to have this opacity applied to it. Oops. Let's go here. Go to our mask on our material here. Call vertical something. Yeah, it's this one because it doesn't have the preview settings set yet. And you do want to do the remove PSD matte thing. It's helpful. No, this doesn't matter because it's already at 512, but let's make sure it's all on there now. If we go through it, fade out a little bit. So maybe you want like a little more fade out. Maybe that's fine for you. We're gonna adjust these colors. It's just that's kind of a gross yellow. It's making me mad. It looks fine when the intensity is up. But... So let's do that really quick because it's kind of pissing me off. So we're actually going to control the colors a bunch with the I hate the HDR system in Unity. It should be a lot more like it shouldn't, because sometimes you'll like pick a color and then the intensity will be different than what you selected. It's like I don't know. I don't want you to like interpret it for me. I want to do what I said it. Turn the styling down. Doesn't matter because it was on the X, but it will matter. Where was I? Sorry. Okay. We're going to use the color over lifetime. So let's just keep it simple at first. Again, we're doing pre-multiplied. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to mention. The pre-multiplied's fucked up in New Unity. This should be perfectly white, but like faded out. But it ain't. You see it right here. It's gray. It's pissing me off. I haven't been able to fix it. It keeps happening. Probably just have to do my own shader. Like not in shader graph. Because like I write this in shader graph, but and like you can like fight against it by like making it lighter kind of like or like fading out earlier, but it's not right, and you'll get weird flickers where it's like it's in additive blending for a few frames. It just effing stinks. Anyway, in motion that looks pretty sweet. I was thinking we might want to fade it out more on the mask, but a lot of the fading is happening with the color animation here on the color over lifetime. So we can just stick with that. So that looks pretty cool. Honestly, you could use this for certain effects, like really stylized. You might be tempted to scale a little bit too. I used to do this. I find it better to just stick with the mesh because it's almost the same motion. Like But if you find it easier to like, have that to work with too, it sort of starts to create a different sort of effect. You can see that feels different and bad even. It kind of defeats the purpose of having the hemisphere. Yeah. So anyway, let's add a little texture. So we have our layer here, and let's start by just doing some like triangles. So I don't need to duplicate it, just delete it. And I really recommend starting all your effects like this, just really simple shapes. You'll be oh my god, you'll be surprised at how good they look. Don't double click by accident. That was a Tourette's thing. I don't know if y'all know I have Tourette's, and sometimes I'm just like doing weird ticks with my hands. It very rarely interferes with my life. I'm very lucky, but a little bit. Let's do that. Skirt. See how that looks. Oops, I'm gonna keep doing that, aren't I? Well, that's weird. What? Why is it? Why is it like that? So that's well. There's two reasons. I'm doing a bit right now, but one reason is this. Oops, it's on this layer. Too precise. Bring it down a bit. Look at that. But it's still rounded. How come? Okay, well let's just be sure. Let's like make sure that glow goes away. And it's like, well, it's still kind of rounded, right? Like that looks okay. It's a little weird. Sometimes you might like a weird stylization like that. Um, I also want to clean this up really quick. Sorry. Match that up really quick, like. Oh no, I can't do that. You gotta go like this. Why would you do that? We'll get there, people. So what's going on? Like, why is it rounded? That's ticking me off. Well, if we have a linear, sort of like triangle shape like this, but our UVs are like this, a linear being transformed into sort of like this curvature is going to be curved. So we got to do the opposite direction. So we got to go like this. So grab my tablet here because it's easier to draw. It's much easier to use. I think this is kind of old news at this point, but people have realized that drawing with the lasso tool and filling it in, and I think like Clip has like automatic features where like you draw with a lasso and it fills in. Duplicate that. Opacity down. That way I can. Oh right, I keep forgetting I'm doing it as a group. Yeah, we'll get there one day. Okay. Just as a little helper guideline. And so we want to do sort of shapes like this, right? So I'll go ahead and just do that real quick. Doesn't have to be good. And the sort of bottom side can be like kind of agnostic. Oh my god, my stylus is slipping out of my fingers. Cool. Let's give that a shot. That might be a little bit too, I don't know. We might need a little more texture than that, but you can see it's a little rough, but you'd be surprised at how nice it looks. Go in there. Oops, right, we still have the outer glow situation. Just turn that off for now because it's making me mad. So yeah, that's a little rough. We can do better than that. That shape is pretty weak. Um, it's not an easy thing to get. Um, I basically just copied Zenless Zone Zero. Not literally, like I did my own, but let's see, where's ours? Should be in here. I named it something else. It's not. If it is that, I'm gonna be mad. Is it not in here? Maybe it's not in here. What did I name it? Oh, it was that one. It looked weird in here. Oh yeah, it's this one. So yeah, it's honestly kind of unassuming. It's not so slopey. I don't know what the right word would be. I made it like too thin and spindly. Um, so yeah, this can be improved like a few ways. We could shake it up like this. Shake it up like this. Just go ahead and duplicate that over. Let's duplicate it up a little bit. And then do filter, blur, motion blur, 90-degree angle. Just a little bit, just a little blur. It's still pretty rough. I'm not sure that's looking that bad. Guess I just made some bad shapes. So yeah, this is why I ate trays, because it's like hard. There's probably a better way to be doing this, but let's go ahead and cheat a little bit. Copy that, Control Shift C. Bring this over into ours. Sort of get a sense of like what they did. Usually you can be pretty rough with your textures, but like just getting this right looks really nice. So yeah, I'm just gonna like literally cheat. Again, this one's actually mine, but it's kind of annoying to get there. Part of it is I am sort of going off to the side like that. It needs to be pretty straight up and down. No, I did the thing again. What if we instead it's gonna look okay? I don't know. Dudes, this last time I did this, it was not this hard. It's gonna be pretty thick. I don't know if we want that. Yeah, that's looking a little bit better. It's still pretty Can adjust the tiling a little bit. It's not helping either. It's way too thick. It's a little embarrassing. Let's just trust this. I don't want to keep us up too much, but basically you get the idea. Um, and you want it kind of thin. You kind of saw like the mistake I just made. And then I added a gradient on top as well. It's going to give us, oh my God, you know, it's a really good shape here. Um, but I think this is really intense too. Yeah, that was also a big problem. You can see it looks really nice. You can also not go back as far. You can see it sort of, in this bottom angle. This looks nice, but as it rounds around the hemisphere, you're seeing it at a shallower angle. So you might not want it to go as far. Just do something like that. That looks really good. Um, you may want it to start like this if you like. Depends on your style and what your needs are. Um, talk about this slope a lot too. Like two fast in slow outs, and then there's like an extreme fast in slow out that I highly recommend using like a lot because it creates like a fast motion but doesn't last too long. And then you have like a smooth motion that sort of, you know, keeps it in place, but still has a bit of motion. I think it quite works for this though. So yeah, that's about it. Honestly, we can do some color things. We can do what Zenless Zone Zero does, where they double the speed. Let's do. Actually, I want to keep this. I like this better. And I might up the thickness a bit. So by lowering the tiling, that essentially makes the texture bigger, if that makes sense. We have to accommodate this. Yeah, so now the texture's a lot thicker. Does that make sense? Yeah, that looks sweet. And then kind of don't want it to fade out right away. So let's gonna go ahead and make a duplicate here. Do one that let's see. Add some color to it. I'll explain this in a sec. Turn up the intensity. A little bit lighter. A little bit warmer. Yes. Sweet. Of course, it seems so obvious now. Man, throw a little red in there. Probably a little too quick. Yeah, see, that kind of flashes. We don't like that. You can see how it sort of it's flashing. um, oh wait, this is what I meant. Still a little weird. I don't know. You'll have to figure that out yourself. Because that looks pretty good. And this is how Zenless Zone Zero does it. They have it like this at first. Um, their glow's like really amped up. My blows, or my bloom isn't turned up that high. Just mess with the colors a bit, like what you might like. I would say that this can be. I have to turn it down a lot because the intensity's so high. Oh, yeah, it looks a lot better. Sweet. And so you can, use that with guns and stuff. We can use it with. This is the one that looks okay. Use these together like this. Go ahead and line it up. Oops. Right, such a weird spot. If you need to, you can change the. I recommend doing this actually for this effect to push the pivot here. If you can see that little green thing, having it right there, and that would have made the scaling that we did earlier look a little bit better too. Um, that way it's scaling from that sort of where the source of the force is. Sorry, this render isn't set up to layer very well. You can see right here. Or, excuse me, shader. Still no, huh? There we go. You're still drawing on top. What's wrong with you? Oh, wait. No, it's okay. It is. There we go. The outlines are a little bit weird. I'm not sure what that's coming from. I think that it might be the pre-multiplied issue again. Oh, no, 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 no. It's from the alpha clipping. There's better ways to set this up, but why? Like rendering weird. Sorry. It's like doing weird stuff. And then it draws behind. I don't know. There's a better way to set this up. But that happens a little bit too early. So if we set this up, I want to pull it back a little bit too. Yeah, like that. It looks sick. Oh my God, it's like rotating in the worst possible way. What are you doing? Put a little delay on that. Boop, boop. Where are you, my friend? Cool, baby. That looks pretty sweet. Put that up to 0.2. Actually, for this punch, probably do like more like that. It's doing weird stuff. I don't. Again, it's this pre-multiplied shader. It's really messed up in Unity. It shouldn't be doing stuff like that. Ooh, that's frustrating. And then you get stuff like that, and it's not fading out. It's so weird, dudes. I don't get it. Um, try and work around it. I gotta write a new shader. I don't know. It's pissing me off. It's a shader graph issue, or they're not. It's like doing pre-multiplied for you. Anyway, that looks really bad. Sorry, dudes. But if you adjust it, you can make it nicer. It's turning black. It should be like faded out more. But it's being whack. And then with the alpha clipping the way it does, it's like just like turning off. Anyway, we're sort of at the end of it here. Um, I know you can turn off outlines, so we can just keep looking down here. Yeah, that looks sweet. That's awesome. Actually, okay, I know we were wrapping up, but like let's make it match a little bit better. I think orange a lot longer. Almost. Not the alpha clipping and stuff. Yeah, so we have that. The sort of smoky one that we made. You can use it for guns, you can use someone for dashing really quick, like a quick burst. All sorts of things. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, of course, let me know. This will be available in the link in the usual spot. Um, yeah, I wish the texture creation part would look better. You get the idea though, right? It's just using that concave shape. And you don't want it to, it needs to be perfectly straight. And you need it to be um, not too concave. Concave, I don't even know if that's the right word. I guess it would be. Um, and yeah, I think that's it. Um, thought I had more to say. Thought I had more to say. Thank y'all for the support. Y'all have been so nice. Um, I do want to try and maybe do 2 a month, especially we're only getting, this is like a big VFX example project, and like we have 2 effects in it, right? And it's been like 4 months or whatever. So, yeah, I'd like to get some more going. I'll get a character in here. We'll get a Johnny in here. Um, I need to get her some new animations and stuff. That way we can see it in context a little bit better. Yeah, feel free to download this. You can use anything that's in here. Please change it. Like if there's any like straight up prefabs, change it and change the texture a bit. Um, things don't work the same for every game. Like this other game I'm working on. And I use transparencies, but I'm sort of trying to avoid using transparencies. This is the end of the video. You can click away now if you're ready, but I hate this. New Unity has all this weird loading stuff now too. It's so annoying. Um, so yeah, just have some effects like this. It's basically the stuff we did, but I use it like a little bit of transparency. Even there, I use like a bunch, but just same effects we did before. But like here, trying to just as like a stylistic thing, like trying something different. Um, Here, this effect is like turning gray. It's that same pre-multiplied issue. It's really making me mad. I spent like 2 days trying to fix it here. Anyway, y'all are great. Thanks for watching. If you have any ideas for effects you want to see, let me know. Um, I want to go back to effects and really, like, let's say, like with this punch effect we did, just showing ways to make it like really look fancy. I tend to focus on like fundamentals, but I think focusing on some fancy stuff would be good too. Anyway, love y'all. Take care. Stay safe.